This course explores the ethical issues involved in using computers. When people hear of cyberethics, there are several responses. One might say that there are no ethical issues involving computers because it's all really about individual choice. We can just do whatever we want on the internet, as people can do whatever they want in ordinary life. But this choice, this stance towards letting people do what they want, is itself an ethical position. You're not getting away from doing ethics or making ethical claims when you think people should be allowed to do what makes them happy. That itself is an ethical position. One might say that in response, what ethical issues are there involved with the use of computers? Well, there are plenty, and we will cover some of them. For instance, we will look at issues in privacy on the internet, the moral implications of piracy, intellectual property, and censorship. Another response that some might say is that can't we just decide and figure out our ethical theory first, and then just apply our moral theory to those issues? After all, we're philosophers. This is a philosophy class. And what is involved here are facts, which we are not, as philosophers, experts in determining. So what we philosophers do is determine the moral theory, and then we just apply them to the issue. As an example, some might think that physicists or engineers just apply math to the world, but the math itself is left to the mathematicians. And so too we should let lawyers and legislators apply the ethical theory to the world of computers, and we philosophers just deal with the theory. This might be an approach that all people who do applied ethics might take. This is an interesting idea, but what this response doesn't get is that philosophy doesn't sit completely removed from reality. Mathematicians prove their theories without appealing to the world, deducing them from pure abstract concepts and definitions and axioms. But philosophers test our moral theories to see if they make sense with our moral intuitions, with our sense of reality. And our reality of what is acceptable and what is not is changing. And computers are changing that world. One of the issues we're going to look at is that of piracy. For instance, before piracy was on the internet, you could still steal movies, but it was different. You could steal movies from Blockbusters or from the store, but it wasn't as easy or as common. If we tried to do it, we would feel guilty or some thrill of theft. But stealing movies today via downloading torrents is so common and so easy that when we do it, we rarely feel anything at all, either guilt or thrill. We are told by movie companies that those two are the same crime. But are they? Why doesn't it feel that way? The existence and ease of the internet makes certain things possible or easier that were not possible before. We thus have new choices to face, and we must examine these new options. Another issue we'll look at is that of intellectual property. There used to be relatively easy policies that helped us determine whether something new was to be protected by a patent or by a copyright. But what about computer programs? Are they things to be protected by patents or by copyrights or by neither? Another issue is that of privacy. The internet has given us new ways to make fun of each other. What was once confined to a few friends can now easily have a worldwide audience. In 2003, a video of a teenager practicing the use of a cardboard lightsaber became one of the first viral videos. This video is that of Ghislaine Raza, and he took it himself, but was found by friends and classmates, and it was uploaded onto the internet. The video was played and replayed, parodied on Arrested Development, The Colbert Report, Family Guy, and so on. It was played for laughs. But what became of the teenager himself? How did he react to all of this? In a word, badly. He underwent depression and checked into a mental hospital. And this raises a rather seemingly straightforward question. Was it worth it? Was the joy we all got from laughing at him worth the humiliation and depression he subsequently suffered? But there's a more difficult question, and that's what should we do about it? What can we do about it? Prior to the existence of the internet, Raza might have been made fun of, but its reach would have been limited. And likewise, so might his suffering. But now the consequences are large, and we can't put the question aside. Is it just amusement? Are there free speech issues at stake? I think it's clear that what his classmates did was wrong. But what about us, the viewer, who enjoys it? Are we wrong in watching it? Many have talked about how we now live, or are beginning to live, in the computer revolution or the information age. The rising ubiquity of computers, they say, might constitute an actual historic revolution or something worthy of being called the new age. But that's difficult to determine, and I'm not sure that that's all that helpful. But what is clear is that computers are drastically changing our lives. Here I want to go into a brief discussion about the logistics of this course. The course is divided into 6 modules. I want you to read the syllabus clearly. All the course requirements and due dates for the assignments are there. If you have questions about the content of the course, about any of the readings, or about the way the course is run, or about the syllabus, please ask me in the Ask the Professor discussion board. If you have a question that's specific to you, and you don't want other students to see it, by all means email me. But if it's something that other students might benefit from, then it's probably the case that they also want to know the answer. And so ask in the Ask the Professor discussion board. Make sure you read the articles for this module. As for each module each week, answer the questions in the homework, and participate in the discussion. Thanks.